to the very first episode of Fly Eats. My name is Jessica, and we're here at the Zuzu restaurant at the Valley Ho Hotel. I'm here with my special fly girl, Haley Fox. Here to share our inaugural show and be our very first guest. Not only is she a fellow flight attendant, she's a writer, blogger, and newly entrepreneur, and all-around cool girl. Thank you, Haley, for coming.
Having me.
Okay, so we're at this new restaurant, Zuzu. Well, it's new to us. It's probably been in Scottsdale for a minute now, but we're here. So this is your first time here at this restaurant, right?
Yeah, this isn't my first time at the Valley Ho, but it's my first time in the restaurant. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a really
I've
cool
stayed here
spot.
before. It's awesome.
And we're gonna have brunch.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. That's why I came.
It's never a bad day for brunch. Are you a breakfast person?
Yes.
100%.
I could eat breakfast for every meal of my day. Like, I will have an egg sandwich for dinner sometimes because that's how much I love breakfast. And I have breakfast every morning.
Damn, that much?
Yeah. Sometimes my breakfast is iced coffee, but that's what I'm trying to be, like a skinny legend.
That's never my breakfast, y'all.
It's fine.
It's always something pretty big.
I have like pre-made breakfast burritos in my fridge that I just like will throw in the oven on the plane sometimes because I if I don't eat before going to work, I am so mean. I'm so mean. I'm totally that flight attendant. That's
the mean flight attendant.
It's because I'm hungry. I'm sorry, but like if a flight attendant's ever mean to you, it's probably because she hasn't eaten all day.
So let's talk a little bit about being the flight attendant. That was a good segue. Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah. About being the mean flight attendant. Well, I like to say flight attendant. I feel like we're all super fly. Well, not everybody, but her and I are.
Literally, we do fly, so that makes sense.
We're our old co-workers at our beloved Virgin America.
R.I.P.
So sad to see them go.
Miss you. It's so sad.
But you know, that's okay. Anyways, so basically I wanted to ask you, you know, all of us as flight attendants, we all have our little story about how we became one and what happened before, what was our before story.
Yep.
So
I was in school
before.
What was yours? Yeah, I was in school before I graduated in 2016 in May, and then I started flying in August.
In speech pathology, right?
Yeah.
A very big difference.
It is. I don't use my degree at all. But I was working in an audiology clinic when I went to school in Northern Arizona University, which is in Flagstaff. So I was working in an audiology clinic there, and that was like the plan. But I wanted to travel in the meantime.
Yes. And you are dream.
Thank you.
So we ordered a little bit before, y'all.
Thank you so much. This is like an IV that I need going straight into my bloodstream.
Iced coffee.
Thank you.
You guys want to order?
Yes.
Can you tell we're hungry?
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna get the warm donuts.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Definitely get that.
Donuts. And then I would like the breakfast burrito with no chorizo and no pork. And instead of potato.
Damn.
Just
wait. What?
Right, she's like, leave a couple potatoes.
It says
it does come with potatoes.
It's served with the potatoes.
So you don't want potatoes? So one here replace with this fruit.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Please. Right. That's what I was going to ask you, so that works out perfectly.
Oh, okay. Adding your little healthy balance.
Yeah.
Can I get the vanilla churro waffle?
Yes.
But can I also have a side of potatoes?
Yes.
Unless y'all grits are bomb. Is it?
Yeah.
We love the honesty here.
We love it. I should have
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noelle.
That's
How is that drink?
I'm trying it.
Try it. I really want to know. It looks so good.
All right, well, can we cheers?
Yes.
Thank you for joining in the first episode of Fly Eats.
I'll drink to that.
Oh, we should have. Ooh.
Ooh, is it good? Is it
Okay,
good?
so this is what was it called? The Zuzu Mango Tango.
Yes.
What was in it? I don't even recall what was all in it, but it's Patron Silver tequila. I start early. Grilled jalapeno. Agavero.
I think that's like an agave thing.
I feel like it's agave too. Whatever. Citrus. You hear me? Citrus and mango puree and tahini.
Yeah.
But tequila's already here. Just a little bit.
takes one sip.
Probably shouldn't drink before you eat.
So, as I was saying, yes, I worked in an audiology clinic. I worked with cochlear implant patients. I did the external software programming for the hardware that people put on after they get the surgery, and it was fantastic. But I just can't do 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I can't like do the regular
Yeah.
you've got the same schedule every single day. You work with, granted, it's like a totally different field. You work with different problems every day, but that's like I just
couldn't take it.
yeah. So after I graduated, I went to Europe for 3 weeks, and I just like bounced around, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to go back to not doing this. So started flying in August, and I just had my 3-year anniversary. So I got a raise. I know it is crazy.
But was it the trip?
fast.
Was it your trip like after college that really sparked you to figure like I want to be a flight attendant, or was it more like I know I need to travel?
Yeah, so I had already applied and had interviews with a few different airlines, and I had gotten the offer from Virgin, but I had already like bought this trip and like paid for it in advance. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and make sure that this is actually like something that I can like get behind, like because I had never really traveled before then. I had gone to like Mexico and Vegas and stuff because it's so close to Phoenix, but I had never been outside of Mexico or Canada, so I was like, I need to kind of just see the world a little bit before I really like go to this, because I still had the opportunity to like apply for med school and do all of that stuff to be an audiologist. But
do you ever think about going back?
Sometimes I've actually been toying with the idea of going back to school, but it's not like a priority right now. I like where I'm at. But I think that as like my seniority grows and I can hold like better trips and have more time off, I might go back to school just because I miss school because I'm a nerd. Right. So like I totally miss being in school, which is crazy. But I think that I would just go back and get my audiology assisting certificates and all of that stuff, and maybe get my master's. I don't think I'd be like a doctor. Right. But being Dr. Fox would be rad. That actually would be cool. Right? Like maybe I should just get my doctorate in like anything. Just to like have that title. I can feel like it's Dr. Fox, actually. I get it right. Don't get it twisted. Thank you. It's Doctor. Well, I don't know what it is. I feel like majority of flight attendants, well, not majority, I should say a good amount of us, including myself, decide at some point like we want to share our adventures and share our experiences and, create a platform for ourselves to kind of just like, expose it all. And I think sometimes it's because, especially on Instagram, everyone starts to DM you and start asking you, how did you get this job? You living your best life? I want to do this. Right. How did you do it? And all of a sudden it's like, all right, well, let me just write this whole thing down. I've already answered this question 70 times. I might as well make a freaking frequently asked question. But was that a part of you deciding to start your blog, or was it kind of like an addition to? Yeah, I mean, I've always really liked to write. So that was always been something that I've done, like, just for fun. I took with my degree, I did not need to take like English and writing classes, but I still took like creative writing classes and stuff just because I enjoyed doing it. And then as I would travel, I kept like a travel journal with like the date and where I was and like restaurants and just like various things that I did, stuff that stuck with me. Right. And I think a lot of us do that because you kind of have to, otherwise everything like just becomes one big flight. Like. Sometimes I think I blacked out from flights. Like, I land and I'm like, what did I just do? Yeah. How did I end up here? Did I get that person a water? Did I ever do that? I don't really think about their water, but I definitely... The other day, I woke up literally in like a hot sweat, and I was like, I never brought that person the water they wanted. They said they were really thirsty, and I forgot. I felt so bad. Anyway, bring it back. I don't have to worry about that part. They got their water eventually. They're fine. They live. I hope. So, I kind of just had it like all sitting around, and like you said, like people, they see your travels and stuff because you post pictures on Instagram when you're in these cool places, and they want to know, they want travel tips for all this. Like, I want to do this too, and I found this flight going to this place. Have you ever been there? And
yeah, you become a travel agent.
like, for real. For real. Like, I really have sat down with my friends and showed them how to use, like, Skyscanner.
Right.
And, like, and I don't even need to use Skyscanner.
Okay, you're like, this is what you do step by step.
Right. And, like, Airbnb and, like, all that. I've gotten so many credits from just sending people Airbnb links. Like, so yeah, it was like a combination of like, it's just practical to be able to send people like, you know, here's this, I wrote this just for this occasion.
Right.
And because I just really like doing it.
Yeah.
So.
But I feel like with you and what I feel like a lot of your writing to me has really stood out is like your transparency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like really candid. And I feel like for me, when I started writing, that was like the nervous thing for me. Like, okay,
yeah,
I know I'm going to start writing, but are you going to tell everything? Are you going to be that open person? Are you going to kind of have a shield on a little bit? Or, you know, what's your angle? You know, that's kind of what I was thinking. And then I read stuff like from people like you who are just like super candid, super transparent about what they've been through, what you're going through currently, and just kind of like expose yourself in a different way. And I feel like people can relate to that a lot. So, like, how do you feel like you got to that place?
I mean, I don't share everything. I don't share like all my sex capades and stuff when I'm like traveling, because you know that happens.
Sips tequila.
Okay. Mostly because my parents and my grandparents read the stuff I write, and like I've already put them through so much, like being who I am as a person.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I have younger sisters. So my sister, my closest sister is 17 and the youngest one is 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the oldest, so I've always kind of felt like I needed to be a role model for them. And I'm not very good at it. Like, I'm not the best role model, and I know that because we all screw up. But I think that that's part of being human. And I look at Instagram posts from these models and various people that are just like face tuning everything, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know, like if it makes you feel better about yourself to like fixes it or snatch your waist a little bit, like more power to you, that's totally fine. But I don't want my sisters to ever feel like they need to hide who they are because they want to live up to the standard.
Like that's the norm now.
Right, because it's not, we're not perfect. Like I get breakouts all the time. Sometimes I have days where I don't feel good about my body. You know, I deal with depression and anxiety, and I don't ever want there to be any sort of stigma about just human stuff. Right. So in order for me to try and encourage them to like live that life, I have to lead by example. So I'm just honest all the time. Because
big sister goals.
Because I feel like if it can help them, then it can help another girl that like she might not be younger than me. I've had people reach out to me that are actually older than me that have told me like that my stories and sharing like the things that I've been through, whether it be like sexual assault or abusive relationships or just being depressed and like the various things that people just go through. They reached out to me and told me that it's given them like courage to talk to their siblings about it or to like approach a therapist or, you know, and that really just keeps it going. Because even though my sisters don't like thank me for it because they don't know really that it's for them, hearing other people within my age group and older than me saying that like I'm a role model for them, which is crazy to me because I'm kind of a psycho. Like, I can't. It just kind of encourages me to keep doing it, even if it is hard. Because it isn't
ingrained in them, I'm sure. You know, can you imagine if when you were their age, if you had someone like you, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Donuts. I will bring you right back to you.
I was like, what is that commercial? That's
I'll be right
like,
back.
Yes, thank you so much. These are so pretty. Oh. What?
I was envisioning something different. Like, it looks really good. Hold on now. Because I'm one of those people, you guys, that
I'm sorry, but that
I
is
have to take the
amazing.
Instagram picture. We got to create the angle.
Okay.
You know? It's like, have a moment.
They're warm donuts, though, so we can't take forever here.
All right, greedy girl. We go. Someone's hungry. But, you know, you got to catch.
Yes.
I can't be the only person that is, like, all about the Instagram angle. Hold on. I know,
I'll
right?
do this with my.
Should
I'll
we
do
get
this
the
with
10?
my ex so that I can. My ex, I called it.
Get the portrait
so that we can
mode.
put it on portrait mode. I do this all the time with my food, and everybody gets annoyed with me, and I don't.
I know it takes like a solid 5 to 7 minutes to even like get all of the
Correct.
angles because you don't know which one is going to be like the best one. I feel like you got to get close. Like,
I'm on portrait mode.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The new phone, you can do portrait mode like right up in it, which is
That's even better.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I live for because I just forget about them saying move further away. It's
Right.
like no, this is where I'm at.
right.
Thank you so much. Gave us plates. They're so classy here. I was literally about to just like put my hand in it and call it a day. But all right, one more thing. Because after I take pictures, I like to take a little quick Snapchat video of it. Put flash on. This is how these Fly Eats moments are created. See that? How luscious.
Please, I wish that my highlight looked like that. I know, it really doesn't. Oh my God, look how pretty this food is.
Oh, burrito?
That's me.
Waffle.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're
She's
not
gonna come
eating?
around.
She's gonna come
coming
around for
with
me.
the plate.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We were so greedy.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Everything looks
Anything
amazing.
No, this is awesome.
Thank you. I love your
amazing.
earrings.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You want to say a prayer now?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for this gift. Holy shit. See, so sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse or not. Are you gonna believe me?
No, this is not a sorry kids parental advisory.
Right.
It is advised. Is that
I'm
what
really.
they say?
You're gonna for your inaugural video. You're probably gonna lose a lot of people just because
The
I've
ones
got-
who don't want to hear cussing might have to like switch to the next video.
I'm so sorry.
We went from like, you know, combating insecurities to just a food moment. So that's where we're at right now. But no, like I was saying, I feel like at the end of the day, all of that stuff that you are striving for your sisters are definitely going to be ingrained in them, whether they even realize it or not. It's when they face something that, you know, is involving the things that you talk about. You know, God forbid something really traumatic. At the end of the day, we all deal with these traumatic situations.
That's part of the human experience.
And then you want to tap into, you know, whatever that learning lesson is for you, to be like, hold up, this isn't right, or I don't need to deal with this, I don't deserve this, you know what I mean, so that you can like move forward.
Absolutely. As soon as you make it real and you make it tangible, then you can really start dealing with it.
Yeah.
Rather than just letting it live inside your head. Because, like, I don't know about you, but when I've got something on my mind and I can't get it off of my mind, I start to lose it. Like, it takes over everything.
It puts you in a prison.
Yeah.
That is really unnecessary, because once you voice it, anytime I felt like that in a super cage, but with my thoughts, whenever I've actually like written them down or actually voiced it to whomever I, you know, that cheese looks bomb, or voiced it, you know, you're free from it, like you said, and you just can like breathe again, drooling.
Oh my God.
You can have the freedom to tear up that burrito.
Right. You're absolutely right.
No, but
That's how I feel about
amazing.
it. That's why I love therapy. I love just like being able to talk about my feelings, and I love writing about it because I've been doing good with this whole thing, but I'm not generally
What was I about to do? Too many sauces.
I'm not generally a very concise person, so talking about my feelings and kind of expressing it like vocally is really difficult, but when I write about it, I can put it all exactly how I feel it and go back and edit it and make it so that it's really, really accurate before I share it and put it out with somebody else.
Yeah.
So
I think it's beautiful. I love that, and I feel like as soon as you started your blog, I feel like we started around the same time. I think you started publishing your stuff first, and then I came on like a few months after. But reading stuff like that, it's like, wow, you know, you can hear your voice in it. And I think that was the main thing that I was like, another thing that I guess I was worried about when you're like starting a new blog, and you know, you start worrying
like
about
being
like
true to yourself while also appealing to people.
Exactly. Like I told you before this interview, the whole hey guys.
Like, you
It's
know,
me.
I wanted to make sure that it's still my voice, and so people who knew me wasn't like, okay,
Okay.
all right, like,
Okay, Tika, she's
that's
coming in
right,
here.
like, okay, girl,
I don't know her.
You brought a whole new like person into this. You know, obviously you're gonna be a little different, but you know, you don't want to feel like you're not being true to yourself. And so, like, reading the things that you've written about, and even, you know, you've been like published from other like platforms too, you know, and so obviously I feel like people can see that and be like, okay, this girl is out here speaking the truth, and you know, we can feel that, we can like move forward from that. But did you feel like the pressures of like becoming an influencer, becoming that like major travel blogger?
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I used to have, I don't know if you remember, but like my old Instagram, I had like thousands of followers. It was getting people reaching out to me for
you were like
sponsored
getting real
stuff.
big.
And it kind of, it got in the way of my personal life in a lot of ways, and I felt like I couldn't really be quite as candid. So now I have like my private Instagram, and it's just my friends. I don't have like a public Instagram, and people.
Did everybody make this face when they pouring syrup? I'm like, You can never have too much syrup either. I just want that to be like.
And that.
I don't know what that is. It's like perfectly whipped.
God is real, and this is perfect.
Ready? Okay, go ahead.
But yeah,
Okay.
But you take your bite first.
How's the burrito?
It's good. It's mostly egg.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where the pico de gallo is. I'm gonna find it now.
Maybe on the other side. Deep in it. Maybe I'll add this in the donut plate. Just make this the scrumptious.
Okay, that's a scrumptious plate.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah.
So I kind of had to like, I did have to make boundaries for myself with what I did really want to share and make public, and how out there I wanted to be with everything, because I do want to be honest and candid with everything, but I also like, I need my privacy at the same time. There's a lot of things that people like don't know about me, even though they follow me online and think that they know everything about me.
People think they know everything about someone just because of a few pictures and
and because I talk so much about like the things that I go through. Everybody is like, they feel like they know me, and I'm like, if only you knew.
Well, you know, that's only like one side of anybody. You know, people look at my Instagram and they're like, oh my God, look at you living your best life. You over here, you over there. But I also had to work a 10-hour flight to get here with no sleep. And I'm just hitting these streets, you know, and like bags are under my eyes. But, you know, it's not like you can just like whatever. And then if you're on a budget, you're not just out here just spending money. I mean, I guess some people are, but I'm not.
I'm definitely
like,
not.
You know,
I get there to my
all those things make a difference. Because, you know, the flex is like, oh, I'm gonna just do this, I'm gonna pay for that, I'm gonna like show Instagram that I'm out here doing all these things, but in reality, you on a budget, and the paycheck doesn't come until the 15th, so...
Mine comes on the 20th.
Even worse.
I got 5 days of poverty.
You know? Yeah, people don't understand the ins and outs of it, because nothing is perfect. Even a flight attendant's life is not as luxurious as you would think.
Right. Yeah, no, it's not. Most of the time, it's not.
But so do you feel like the boundaries that you wanted to set was like the main reason why you were like, let me shut this down right now? Was that like the tipping point? Like, did you feel like pressure? Or overwhelmed, I should probably say.
I was dating somebody at the time, and it was just kind of like it was getting in the way of my relationship, and because he didn't want to have like a super public life, and I get that. And I wanted to kind of prioritize the things that were important to me, and Instagram is never as important as the relationships that I have with people in my real life, you know. And so it kind of, there's a lot of things that played into it, but mostly it was just that I needed a little bit more privacy. I needed to kind of have some time just for me, and I was on my phone literally all the time. And that is not a life.
It's not.
I mean, I'm still on my phone all the time. But like, it's just not.
But it's different when you feel like you have to be on your phone for a specific platform. You all right? You okay? Also,
exactly.
This waffle, I almost choked. This waffle is legit. I probably should have.
It's so good that you don't even want to breathe.
I probably should have chewed beforehand, but yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, girl, I didn't even give you none of that, did I? I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, I just like flung it on the table. It's okay.
There you go. I'm not greedy. So, do you feel like you would go back to like vlogging as to like that level as you were before? Like, do you want to go back to that? Do you want to just kind of like let it live where it was? If that was a moment.
I'm still writing and stuff. I'm just not sharing quite as much. I also haven't been traveling as much as I normally do.
Right.
So I haven't
And
had
that's
quite
the
as
pressure
much
too.
to share. Yeah.
You feel like you have to go to all these places to like
Right.
keep up with the luxury.
Right. And then like trying to
Whatever,
do like layover
blogger, right.
writing and stuff like that. It's like sometimes when I'm on a layover, if it's 24 hours, I just want to lay in bed the whole time.
I know it's tiring. People don't get that.
I was exhausted.
No. But now you've started a business with your mom, which I find like that's so amazing. I feel like when you guys first started posting, well, I should start with the company. It's By
Erin C.
By Erin C. I just told you, I'm like, I read it so off, like I'm dyslexic.
By Erin C. Art on Instagram.
Right. And it's fluid artwork. Is that like the official?
Yeah, that's the best way to say it. It's mixed media. So
Okay.
we use predominantly we do stuff with epoxy resin. We dye it with alcohol, inks, or acrylic paint, and then we use a heat gun or a torch to cure it and spread it around instead of like a paintbrush because it's like really heavy. I don't know if you've ever like seen resin or used it
No,
at
I mean
all.
I've only seen like y'all videos really, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like I wouldn't know how far to push, how far to pull.
It kind of does whatever
Yeah.
it wants, honestly. That's the cool part about it is that it's like I just kind of dye it. I pick the colors that I like, you know, and then I put it there, and I've got like 20 minutes before it cures, and I can't do anything else with it. So, I just
So it's
burp.
in a time restraint. You know, it's good when you start burping. I don't know if that's true.
But yeah, it's really really cool. And then we also I paint with alcohol inks on Yupo paper, which is like a waterproof paper. It's treeless, so it's not absorbent at all, and so it's actually really awesome because alcohol ink is alcohol based, so I can use it like a watercolor almost, but I use alcohol instead of water. Like water is to watercolors as alcohol is to alcohol inks. So,
What got y'all like? How? What started you doing
Instagram.
this? What like you know?
oh, I forgot to bring my cup that I usually have with me, but my mom wanted to buy like a custom water bottle or like tumbler on Etsy or something, and she was looking at it and she was like, I could do that.
Right.
So my mom went out, bought all the resin stuff, did it herself, and then it turned into her own little business. My mom has a totally separate thing that she does where she makes tumblers and cups and stuff, and they're amazing. I love them. I have a cup and a water bottle. And then I started following like resin artists. Right, he moved that. I started following resin artists because I knew that my mom did it, and I kind of just wanted to follow different people that did similar stuff. And there is one girl on Instagram that I followed, and she's just fantastic. And I sent my mom one of her posts and was like, "Can we do this?" And she was like, "Yeah, you can use my stuff. Like, that's fine." So I went over there. We played around with it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just
the
like
rest is
totally
history.
fell in love with it. Yeah, one of my friends, Michael Mirporian, his boyfriend works for Raw Artists, which is that showcase that we had. And so his boyfriend kind of like scouted me for it, and
That's amazing.
yeah, so
So have you guys been getting a lot of commissions and like?
yes, I
It's been
literally
crazy.
don't breathe. Yes.
It's so cool though. 'Cause I mean, it's one thing to. You all right? You okay?
I thought I got sour cream in my hair.
No, I think you're good. Your girls are still laying
I'm over here like,
some sour cream. No, but you know, it's one thing, you know, you always hear about Pinterest fails.
yeah.
It's one thing to like see something and like, you know what, I could do that. Because we all could be like, I could go to Michael's and just
Right.
make that happen.
Yeah, it was
But it's very different when you like actually put the stuff down, the material. And you're
there
like,
was a
"Let's do
lot of
this."
Pinterest fails. So resin is very flammable. And we use right. So we use
All I'm picturing is like hair on fire.
girl, we use like a heat gun and a torch to like do everything, and you use alcohol, like rubbing alcohol to clean it up. So otherwise you get sticky and there's shit all over the place, and it's just nuts.
gosh.
So there have been times where I have literally like lit pieces on fire, and I'm like like panting over it, trying to. I mean,
This is marshmallow fluff.
yes it is. burnt marshmallow fluff.
The caramel
Yes.
and chocolate.
Oh.
Go ahead. You almost burned the house down, and then.
So there have been a couple of fails. But then the cool thing with resin is that you can layer it on top of each other. So even if I do mess something up, I can just put another layer on top of it and dye the resin a certain color so that you can't even see what I messed up on.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah, like, I mess up a lot. I mess up a lot, honestly.
So it's like really like freeform art.
It
just kind of.
totally is.
Well, because it looks very detailed and it looks very like. I don't know, like you kind of drew a picture and then put something on top of it. You know that
Nope.
It's so detailed in that way, the way it looks, and
Yeah.
you guys not only just do the actual framework, you can put it on coasters and stools and like just different.
Yeah, we have like a couple tables that we've sold.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And like home goods, we've got bowls, like ring bowls and stuff like that. And those are more so for people that like they want art from us, but resin is so expensive that we have to like charge pretty high penny for it.
But I mean, it's worth it when you see like the detail and it's not something that you can do on your own.
Oh yeah, I
don't
am
try it at home.
Sweating and like dedicating hours of my time to every piece that I make. So it's definitely like I don't undersell myself just so that somebody can have art in their home, because it's like
No, you have
if you're
to know
buying
your
local,
worth.
you should pay people what they deserve.
That's a fact.
Not
Just 'cause
to
it's
not
in-
to toot my own horn,
but
but
it's true.
I mess up, but I'm good at it. Like
And just because it's not like at your major retail store doesn't mean that it's any less work. You know, you're working really hard on your own time. You don't have a factory of people like
it's just me.
you know.
My mom and I do it together, and it's just the two of us in like whatever space we can find, because sometimes the pieces are like really big. So we've got to clear out areas, and like we had to totally like deck out my sister's little playhouse that we have in the backyard. She doesn't use that anymore. That's ours now. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
How is it working with your mom? Like,
It's
is
nice.
it just more fun than anything, or do you guys ever bump heads on something creative?
My mom and I bump heads all the time. She's a Cancer. I'm an
Regular
Aquarius.
mom
We were not meant to be friends.
Or are they not compatible?
No.
Okay.
She cries so much.
No.
And I don't, you know me, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
But no, we don't ever really bump heads like creatively. There are certain things that she and I have like we disagreed on initially, but like it's not that big of a deal. She's not like, it's not really like a business partnership kind of thing, because it is still like in, you know, the beginning stages of everything. We've been doing it for like 6 months now. So
It's only been 6 months?
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's been longer.
yeah,
Like
I mean, it's been 6 months since we started like talking about it. My mom's been doing the cups for
so
over
long.
a year, and I've been like, I kind of messed around with stuff and I've painted my whole life. So, but no, we don't really bump heads on too much. We have very different strengths, which
What
is
do you
really
feel like
cool.
You are what's your strength in
I'm
business?
good with like colors and composition and like abstract stuff. Like I can kind of like put stuff down and make it balanced and work based on colors and textures and everything. My mom is like, she can look at a picture of something and recreate it. So like I wouldn't say that my mom is creative. She's really, really talented, but she's not like creative like I am. And when I told her that,
she's more strategic.
she's all, yeah,
I think in like
absolutely.
the way she,
absolutely, with the way that she works with art, totally. And it's,
yeah, you Aquariuses are little free babies. Y'all just be out
I got
here.
all these dreams, you know.
And you're getting them. You're
Yeah.
So do you guys ever think about going, or I mean, you said you guys kind of went public 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But you know, things like Art Basel or like
That's a big commitment.
yeah.
We right now have some of our work hanging in
It's like the industry?
Industrious, which is like a co-working space here in Phoenix, and it's all like local businesses that work there, and they get a lot of foot traffic from just people that utilize that space. So it was super cool. The girl that works there reached out to me because she went to that showcase that we have.
How amazing is that though, to like,
So cool. It's so cool, honestly.
you know, to just have that
Oh my god.
Yeah. Did you put it with the fluff?
I did, and the caramel. That caramel was bomb.
I know.
But yeah, I've been super lucky, and I feel very, very grateful. That's like the big encompassing thing in my whole life right now, is I'm just very grateful for all of
gratitude.
a lot of it. I have like a gratitude journal
Don't
that
you-
I keep every night, and I count the things I'm grateful for. I can't speak. I count the things I'm grateful for. It's like,
if we would chew, then we could.
all right.
No, but don't you find like writing it out? Because I just started doing that in the beginning of this year. And I feel like when I write out all the things that I'm grateful for, especially even if it's like 5 things, even if it's the smallest things,
Yeah.
you just have a different outlook on like your day, your life.
Absolutely.
Like, you start your next day different. It's just like,
It really-
you know,
yeah.
that stuff is really not that deep.
No. So I
not
do
that
it
bad.
before I go to bed, and I use the alphabet to count the things I'm grateful for. So I do like A, airplanes, because they get me from point A to point B.
Yeah.
B, bagels, because this body was built by bagels.
Facts.
And like I just kind of keep going. And sometimes it's like just little weird stuff like
Yeah.
dogs, because I love dogs. But other times it's like people, like one of my best friends, Alyssa. Sometimes she's been like A when she's really been there for me that day, and like that's the first thing that comes to mind. And I feel like a lot of the time when you're like going to sleep and your mind is kind of like going around, I tend to go to a negative place sometimes, and that's just like, maybe that's just human nature to focus on negative stuff rather than focus on positive, and so having to like rewire that, and like that's the last thing I do before I go to bed, is I count the things that I'm grateful for. And it just sets the tone for like I sleep better, I wake up feeling better, I feel more like compelled to show love to the people around me and to be kinder, and yeah.
That's amazing. It's just so funny because I feel like lately I've been, well, obviously I already knew, but meeting people who do the same thing, and it's something so new to me. You know what I'm saying? When I started writing stuff out, at first I used to hate writing out, because shout out to my twin. I was a kid and had a diary. He used to read it and be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh, your brother. Thank you so much.
And because I'm an emotional eater, this is the perfect timing for this
Yes,
shake to come through.
Lord. Is this just a giant chunk of caramel?
Yes.
You guys went off with this.
So it's a salty turtle, so it's going to be a chocolate shake, and there's going to be salted malt crumbs around the shake, and then there's going to be a hard pretzel, soft pretzel. The very bottom, there's a caramel on the bottom of that. There's going to be vanilla whipped cream on top of it, and just a whole bunch of nuts and caramel.
Oh my god.
I'll let you get nothing on you.
No. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look at God.
All the time. See? Which one you want to put this on? The S for shake?
Yeah, correct.
C for caramel?
C for caramel, N for nuts.
It's a lot of gratitude that's going to
It's
go
gonna
on
be difficult.
tonight.
It's gonna be difficult to choose between caramel and chocolate for my C.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
This is legit.
There is tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow too.
Oh my gosh.
This honestly it looks so good.
This is
It's
amazing.
a little ridiculous.
Tiny bit.
That's okay though.
But yeah, that, I mean, it's been something that's like kind of changed, you know, the way I think, because like you said, you have just naturally we're like, oh, this happened.
Right, and then you focus
This
on
happened.
it and
That's
it takes over.
Yeah, you're just like on and on and on, and it's like, okay, girl, it really wasn't that hard today. Like,
No. I
you know, and even if it was, it'll get better. There's other things that can happen and will happen that makes it like 20 times better. This is ridiculous.
It's a little corny, but I think that like our perspective really determines what our life is like.
Oh, fact.
In a lot of ways. I mean, granted, you know, there are certain things that I'm about to get political. I need to reel it in. I was gonna say like systemic racism and stuff like that. Like there are things that can't be changed by your perspective, but
Right.
But the situation that you are in, if you're focusing on just the negative stuff, then that's all you're gonna see.
Yeah.
Because that's where your focus is, and that's how the brain works. That's how.
And then it's draining. Like, do you ever find yourself like flying with someone and you're like, ooh, no, like you're messing up my whole vibe.
I'm like your energy and my energy are not mixing.
like this is not gonna work.
We're not gonna be friends after this.
You
I
know?
don't think we're friends right now.
Right.
Like, absolutely.
Oh yeah, give me that lighting. Give me that flash. Give me that. Give me that flash, girl.
Hold on, stand by.
I need more lights.
All right. You're gonna start. literally.
I'm just saying, if you don't do this when you're going out to eat, I don't even know what.
Can't be my friend.
Yeah, like what are we even doing?
Ooh,
legit.
she's so cute and she knows it. Look at her working for the camera.
Angle. Okay. Angle. Alright, I don't even know where to start. But
This giant chunk of caramel just got me fucked up. That's fucking funny. They literally were like, we're just gonna take a whole thing of caramel.
and then caramel.
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
yeah, it's as far as like flying with people like that. I mean, the cool thing about flying is that you get so many different personalities every single day. It's always different. And sometimes those different personalities are the guests that you're working with, and sometimes they're the flight attendants that you're working with, sometimes it's the pilots, the gate agents. Like, there's all these different people that you see, and it's never the same people, usually twice. So you get the opportunity to like meet so many different perspectives and so many different people that have different ways of going about their life, and like sometimes it's like, ooh,
Right.
I would be cool if I never saw you again.
Full facts.
But other times it's like I feel like I've known you for my entire life and I never want to fly with anybody else. I have had to kind of, because when I first started, I was crying all the time. People were so mean. Like, people are fucking mean to flight attendants. And granted, sometimes I deserved it because I was acting like a dumb bitch. But again, if I haven't eaten, I'm gonna be mean to you. Like, I'm sorry, and then you're gonna be mean back to me, and it's gonna be this endless cycle. So when I first started, I was having like a really hard time. There were a couple times where I would get to my hotel room and I would have like a breakdown on the bed, and like, I don't know why I do this to myself. Like, I hate my job. I hate these people. This is like the worst decision I've ever made. And I had to kind of start putting up, like, not necessarily a barrier around myself, but I did have to start kind of protecting my own energy, for lack of a better word. And so now instead of, because I'm super empathic, like, you know, I pick up on what everybody else is feeling. And so if somebody's having a bad day, I feel that.
Yeah.
I absorb it. Now I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
And I had to start just kind of, like, being like, I'm so sorry that you're having a bad day.
Right.
Like, I sympathize with you, but I'm not going to let your bad day ruin my bad day.
Right.
And that's like, oh my God, it's made such a difference.
But I think even it's almost like an allergy.
Just reject the whole person.
You know, yeah, because it's like, I'd be like, man, I'm about to itch. Like,
I'm breaking out in hives.
yeah.
Like, I've got issues.
And then usually they don't even last that much longer near me because it's like, I'm not going to indulge in
I don't really engage with it.
You know what I mean? Because as soon as you fall into that whatever, then it just becomes this whole, like,
It's just
moment.
a cycle. It's a cycle, and you feed off of each other.
Yeah, and when
going,
you're trying to expand your mind and just like live in a more like, you know, grateful space, that's not gonna work.
No, it's not.
It doesn't go hand in hand.
Sometimes it works because it's like, I'm grateful I'm not you. I'm really grateful that I don't get to see you after this is done. Grateful for all the people that are not you in my life. Like, you can twist it and make it a grateful moment.
That's true. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and say a full prayer for you, not just a half, and we're gonna move forward from there. How is it? Where we at?
The flavor,
not the full. Okay. So what do you feel like, going back to y'all business?
Oh, right.
What do you see the goal is, or is it just mostly like playing it by ear, or is this a goal, like just
this is it,
enjoying?
I think that
doing it,
like, because I'm a very creative person. I need to have some sort of creative outlet, whether it be writing or painting or, you know, using resin. So we didn't really start doing it with the goal of being like famous artists or like making a ton of money off of it. I do it because I like it and I can share something beautiful with people, and that's the whole thing. It would be super cool if it could like pop off and that's all that I need to do, and I don't need to fly anymore, and I could just paint my whole life away. But I don't want to put that much pressure on myself to be like an artist, because that's draining too. Like, there are sometimes I've had days where I've painted for like 8 hours straight, and at the end of it I'm more exhausted than like a than working a red eye up
yeah.
on no sleep, you know. So I like where I'm at right now with it. We've got a couple of like shows coming up that we're like trying to debate like if we really want to do this again, because we just had one in August. So, and that was a ton of work.
Yeah. That means a huge commitment.
It is. It's massive, and
especially that you're not doing it just full time, you know.
Right.
Like you have other things going on.
I mean, I fly like 15 to 18 days a month.
Right.
So and those are times when I'm gone and I can't bring resin and heat guns and torches and stuff with me on a plane.
That would be bad.
Shout out to TSA for preventing me from creating on my layovers.
That would be difficult.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I roll up with like giant wood slabs and I'm like, these are my carry-ons.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work at all.
So like while I'm gone, I can't be creating and stuff, and I can write and I can doodle and I can like sometimes I'll bring watercolors with me. But at the end of the day, I just want to be able to have something where I get home and I can do it because I love it.
Yeah.
It's like a hobby, you know. It's a hobby that I've been able to make money off of, which is cool.
I mean, I think that's the goal, right? To find our passions and just be able to, like, of course, profit from it, but also just enjoy it and just feel like you're not, like, even if you are working hard and those hours become crazy and those nights become long, it's like that's your passion. So you can just keep it moving and keep doing it. So, Miss Haley Fox, what makes you so fly?
I'm really not.
The end. Period.
What makes me fly?
What makes you fly?
My kindness. I think that's like the one thing that I really like about myself is that like when I met you, I was not like a nice girl. Like
Yes. Sorry, guys.
It's true.
Sidebar: Haley Fox was called Hateful Haley.
That was
so
me.
yes.
Because I used to be a total bitch all the time. I was, but it was. I think that like I've done a lot of work and I've found things that I really love and I've cut out a lot of negative people.
Yeah.
And our job is so easy and it's so fun. Honestly, like the job itself is not hard. The lifestyle and stuff, like once you kind of fall into it, I feel like I've really just grown into my own lately, and I'm really proud of myself. So yeah, I'm good to people. I think that's what makes me fly. Most of the time I am.
Well, thank you
But
so
don't cross me
much.
if
Thank
I'm
you so
hungry.
much for being here with me and indulging in all this. And we're gonna go hard in this in just a second.
This is all that I can focus on.
But you know, I need you guys to like and subscribe, all the things that I was like not wanting to fall into. But
Hi, it's me,
hey
Jess.
guys,
Welcome to
like
my
and
channel.
subscribe. No, for real, you know. Do all of that and follow us next time in our next episode of Fly Eats.